Thousands of people in KZN are in dire need of help. We know that many NGOs doing what they can as they step in to do the very best for those in need. One of those is SA Harvest. It's tackling the immediate food security crisis in the province. Let's find out how they're doing it. Go live to KZN Operations Manager Lindsay Hopkins joining us this morning. Lindsay, good to have you with us. Tell me how SA Harvest is helping. I imagine this is about don't throw away that food. There are starving people, and this is where you come in. Good morning. What are you guys doing?
Hi, good morning. Yeah, the basis of our work is to redivert food waste that would naturally go to landfill and feed it back to people. And by that, I mean it's short-dated stock, overruns of stock that's got damaged packaging. And there's probably about 10 million tonnes that's recorded every year. And then at farm level, there's far more, anywhere between 30 to 60% summer, winter. And the farmers do often waste a lot of produce that isn't completely straight or completely round or whatever. So there's a lot of food that can go to the people, yes.
Okay, so I thought this was more about people at home not throwing away their leftover bread, although that might be part of this as well. So what you're talking about is large chain stores, because we know that they have a sell-by date, a best before date, and an expiry date. That's what you're talking about. So what's your appeal to those organizations today? How are those lines of communication working? Do you go to them? Should they come to you? What do you need?
We do a bit of both. So we do go to the companies to ask them to please not just go dump their food that could be used for communities. And also at retail level. So you've got manufacturing level, distribution level, you've got retail level, and obviously at home level as well. Think about that last slices of bread that you just think, oh, well, I'm just going to throw it away. There are people that are absolutely starving. We've got at least 20 million people that go to bed hungry every night, at least. And by that, I mean they literally are starving. And yeah, we urge people to get in touch with SA Harvest. We do phone companies as well, and we've got to educate people, because food sitting in landfill or in the environment is actually bad for the environment. So it's a double whammy. And then we can provide a Section 18A, which gives them a tax back for CSR spend. And then we've got an amazing digital platform. So we track absolutely anything that comes in and goes out to every single last beneficiary. And we provide reports on this, so it's very transparent.
Yeah, and transparency is the key at the moment as well. So while someone's listening right now, Lindsay, they might go, okay, so SA Harvest, where are they finding you? Is there a website, social media pages? And as far as getting this kind of food to you, is that the responsibility of the supplier, or do you have plans like your very colourful truck behind you to go around and fetch? So where do they find you, and what's the logistic support you need?
We've actually got a warehouse sitting at Kings Park Rugby Stadium. We're very lucky and very blessed to be here. And we do have a fleet of refrigerated trucks. We've got a refrigerated container, so we can collect. We're very lucky to have the operational support like that from, funders and benefactors. And so we can collect, or we can ask people to deliver. We do accept interlinks here as well. If anybody wants to give us that much food, that'd be amazing. Yeah. So, and it's saharvest.org.
saharvest.org. I was about to ask you to remind me of the website as well. So obviously, huge logistical issue. You're feeding up to as many people as you can per day with this sort of food. How are you picking the focus areas? I mean, I can't imagine the devastation in KZN. I haven't been down there. But in a province that size, where does SA Harvest start to go first? You can't be everywhere at the same time.
I must be honest, we are sticking to our everyday beneficiaries. So we've got beneficiaries that we see. I see about 40 beneficiaries in KZN every single week. We focus on the elderly and the children and vulnerable people, possibly with disabilities or, And so now what we're doing is we're using our vetted beneficiaries that we've got a trusting, good relationship with. And then if they are in those affected areas anyway, and we're asking them to help us reach out to everybody else, we've got the community halls and churches, but it really helps us to use our beneficiaries that we know well, and that way we are gaining back intelligent data. So when the community halls kind of fall away, or the other guys that have jumped onto the foreground to provide meals and things, when they do leave and go home, SA Harvest needs to pick up the pieces, and we need to make sure that we know exactly what's happening. So that's why we've taken the route through our beneficiaries. And it's more sustainable. We just create communities of people, so we know exactly where the hotspots are. So that's definitely the way we're doing it. And then obviously through our beneficiaries, they'll call us out and say, Lynn, there's a hotspot, and then we jump at it.
So what I'm getting from this is not a project that SA Harvest is doing just because of the current flooding crisis. You guys are actually you were there before, and this is what you ordinarily do, and you'll be there after as well. Tell me, are you needing more help? I don't mean from a logistics perspective. I mean, you seem to have that pretty waxed. Do you need people on the ground? Do you need people in KZN to come forward and go, hi, Lindsay, this is who I am. I can drive to another area. Do you need that kind of support as well?
Yeah, look, it does help. At the moment, because our truck's quite heavy and the roads are quite damaged, we are relying on our beneficiaries to come to us in some areas. It's not the way SA Harvest works, because you like to have our eyes on the ground all the time and see what's going on. But we do have smaller trucks and buckies and stuff. And with that, then they do use a local guy with a bucky, and then they have to pay for fuel. So even small amounts of fuel, whether it's 300 Rand, 400 Rand, or if there are people with 1 ton, 2 ton buckies, it does help. And then people, packing and distributing. We are quite lucky. We'll get, whether it's rugby teams or football teams or churches or kids doing their corporate social responsibility time. We've got, attorneys and estate agents, and all the teams come through and say they'd like to experience a day with us. So absolutely, if anybody wants to do that and come and see on the ground, whether it's feeding in the soup kitchens or it's here packing and distributing, it's quite hard work, because a lot of stuff comes, if it's in damaged packaging, it's not on pallets. So we spend hours packing and unpacking boxes.
And making a huge difference as well. I mean, I think we must never forget how many people are literally, as you say, going to bed starving. Not hungry, starving. Some people haven't eaten since the beginning of this flooding. SA Harvest Operations Manager for KZN, Lindsay Hopkins, doing some amazing work, as are many people down there. But she gave you the website, saharvest.org. If you want to be able to donate, it's the kind of food that's not expired. This is more for the shops, for example, that have got food that's not expired, but beyond its sell-by date, that's still very usable. Get hold of SA Harvest. They can put that to good use down in KZN.